Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Right Turn to Canada. I hope all you guys are doing great and are enjoying every bit of your life. Today's video is going to be about what are the monthly expenses that you can expect in your first initial months or few initial years in Canada. Do not forget to watch the video till the end where I will be sharing some money saving tips that might come handy in your financial planning.
You turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie.
A lot of viewers have requested for this video since a very long time, and you can find a lot of videos on the YouTube which give the detailed breakdown of the monthly expenses that one can expect when in Canada. In today's video, I wanted to create a broader perspective of what kind of things you should, you may, and you must spend your money on when you are in Canada, and give you a slightly different angle to the monthly expenses. So without much further ado, let's begin. When we talk about expenses, then almost all of us spend our money on three different things or three main categories. One is the necessity, luxury, and third is the investment. So necessity is what I would say what we need, and luxury is what we want, and investment is definitely something in what we should spend our money on. So need, want, and should are three keywords to consider when we plan our monthly budgets. So if we talk about the monthly expenses of a couple here in Canada, then the necessities would include one big thing, that is rent. In rent, I would also consider the utilities that may or may not be included in rent. They may be added to the rent. So it might range between $1,300 to $1,800 per month. I would take an average to be $1,500. The second thing would be grocery. Now again, this is a very subjective thing, and every family might find that they invest different sum of money every month in their groceries. If we consider for a family of two or a family with a small kid, then we can expect a grocery of somewhere around 600 CAD every month. The third thing that we would definitely spend money on is our mobile bills. So now mobile bills in Canada are usually on the higher side as compared to, if you especially compare it to the mobile bills in India. So you can expect a decent coverage from a decent company for around 50 CAD per person. So if I'm considering for the couple, so it's going to be 50 plus 50 is equal to 100 CADs per month. The fourth major expense that everyone has over here can be the transportation costs. So now this can include your Uber, buses, streetcars, taxis, or metro. So on an average, if I take, then it's around 250 CAD for one person. So if we're considering for a couple, then it can be 250 and 250. So around 400 to 500 CAD per month. Now this 400 to 500 Canadian dollars is something that you would spend if you are using mostly the public transport. If you are planning to buy the car, then you can add another 300 to 400 Canadian dollars per month in your monthly budget. That would include fuel, insurance, your monthly payment for the car, and maintenance, etc. So the fifth thing that I am going to include in the list of necessities in here is something that many people can say that it's a luxury and it can be avoided, but for me, and I think for a lot of people, it's a necessity, because a little bit of enjoyment and entertainment is required, because life otherwise can get really hectic and boring. So I would include weekend getaways or some weekend out or night out somewhere that you can include here and there in your month. So that can cost you up to 200 to 300 Canadian dollars every month. So if we total these necessary expenses every month, then it totals up to be about 3,000 Canadian dollars every month for a couple for decent or moderate to good lifestyle in here in Canada. So now that we move toward the second category that all of us spend money on, and that is luxury, it becomes very, very subjective, as a necessity to some can be luxury to few other people. But I would share my perspective over here. So if we begin with luxury, it can go with anything that we discussed in necessity in here. For example, if we talk about rents, then the average rent that I shared in necessity is around 1,500 Canadian dollars. But if you want to go for, or if you straight away go for an apartment, a bigger apartment or a lavish condo, then you can expect rents around $2,500, $2,200. So you see that you straight away are looking at adding about $1,000 to $1,500 of expenses every month to your budget. The same thing applies to mobile bills. As I shared in necessities, that your mobile bills can cost you about $100 for a couple, but if you want to go for the latest model of phone while you're buying a mobile connection, then it can add up to $70 to $80 per person. So on an average, you are adding about $150 to $160 for both of you in your every month expenses. Now the third luxury that many of the new immigrants find that they spend a lot of money on and they regret it later is the expensive cars. Now of course you see all sort of expensive cars in here, and when you listen to a lot of deals and offers and financing options coming in, many of the newcomers coming in feel, and it's the hype that's created all over the world, that it's very easy to buy a car in here. It is, but then don't fall into the trap and just hook up yourself for a big installment that you have to pay for next few coming years, because life is unexpected, and when you come here you are not really sure what kind of job you're going to get, what kind of salary can you be expecting, and how secure is that job going to be. Now you can get some pre-used cars in good condition around $15,000 too, but if you want to go for expensive cars or new cars, then sky's the limit. The fourth luxury expense that I'm going to include here is that is my or our weakness, but you really need to limit yourself on these two things, and that is vacation and shopping. These two monthly expenses are something that require a lot of self-control to regulate, but it is very, very important, especially in a country like this where you get credit cards and financing and cards for basically everything. So wherever you go, there are a lot of good companies that are going to give you different financing options, 0% interest and this many months to pay, and a lot of financing options, and those are good. I'm not saying that those are bad. Those are very important. Credit cards are important to have. You must have them to build your credit history, but it is very, very essential to plan these things out. You have to plan how many credit cards you need, and you need to use them judicially in a proper proper manner, so that you don't land yourself in trouble. Now next comes the third category, that is our favorite and often most ignored category, that everyone wants to spend money on but eventually is not left with any money to spend, because we spend more money in here and we're left with nothing to spend on this category, and that I would say is the investment. So basically investment here includes anything that is going to give you a return in future, or that is going to create an asset for you to use in the future. So may it be like you have a course in mind that you can do that will get you a good job, you have a certain certification or some upgradation to your qualification that you know would help you in getting a better job or getting a better salary, then you should spend your money on it. If you have a specific business plan in your mind and you have the whole project ready and you know that you can do it meticulously, do it in a planned way, but make that investment. Even if it's difficult, you don't have any money left for your luxuries in here, invest. If you're doing a business, you've already started, you need some money for marketing, advertising, or anything that would just make your business better and would take your graph towards the upper side, it would towards an increasing side, you should make that investment, and that is very, very important. It can also include something like saving for your own house. That I would say also would be an investment. You might not invest right away, but just saving a little portion for that big investment when you want to buy a house is also a very important expense that you should be considering right after you move here, because you definitely don't want to spend all your money on rent every month and just continue doing it for like a good part of your life. So if I try to sum up the whole video, then this is something that your monthly budget planning should be designed around. This is what your plan for every month should look like. So now I would share some of the tips, as I promised earlier in the video, that can help you save some of the dollars here and there in your daily life. The first of them would be using some of the price match apps. A lot of stores in here do the price match. Whether you go for furniture shopping or grocery shopping, for example, Walmart does price match many of its competitive stores. So whenever you are going for shopping, try to ask the representative or the management personnel over here if price match is an option, and if it is, then do try to use some of the apps. For example, Flip is something that we usually use for grocery shopping, and it can help you save a lot of money every week on your grocery. The second tip that I would have for you guys is that be a smart shopper. If it's a necessity and you have to buy it, try looking it online and looking for different prices, because you might find a lot of different prices over a very wide range that many of the stores offer here in Canada. And if you can, and if it's possible, then do wait for the big sales that keep on coming up in different time of the year. For example, towards the end of the year, you have the famous Boxing Day sale or Black Friday, and then you have the Labor Day sale. So there are different time of the year when you have some big sales coming up, and you do have some great deals and great offers on those days. So try to wait for those sales and grab your stuff, whatever you want to buy, at good deals. The third is a very small money saving tip for all the viewers or all the people who want to come here and start driving Uber or doing skip the dishes, or they're going to be using their car for longer travels. You do have different prices for the fuel at night than you have during the day. Those prices are usually lower at night. So if it's possible for you, then you can go for the fuel for your car at the night, and you can save a few cents or few dollars every single day. The last tip that I would share here is that when the banking or the credit cards is concerned, then there are different deals available, that are different deals that different banks or different credit card companies give. So do try to do a little bit of research when you're going for those cards. Don't go for a lot of number of cards, but when whichever 2 or 3 credit cards or cards that you're going to have, do a little bit of research at what kind of rewards or return are they giving, because some of the cards, the credit card companies give travel rewards, some of them give some cash back, and some of them if you get them, like the Canadian Tire one, you can save money on fuel or on certain items in the store as well. So there are different options. So depending upon what you would need and what you would use more, try to do a little research and go for those credit cards. I'm sure that you all must be having a lot many more tips to share on budgeting, on financial planning, and also on money saving here in Canada that we don't know of. So I would love for all of you viewers to share all those suggestions or all those little tips there in the comment section, and we would love to know about those. If you've liked this video, then please do not forget to hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed the channel as yet, do hit the subscribe button as well. You guys can also follow us on our Facebook page, Right Turn to Canada, and our Instagram handle, Right Turn to Canada. So until next time, all you guys, bye bye and take care.